is going on? FG3000 back in the place to be, and welcome back to the pre-register for the month of July. Now before we get into the video, I got a favor to ask everybody that's watching this video, okay? So tomorrow, Chimera Land is finally hitting global launch. If you guys don't know what Chimera Land is, it is that open world survival game that has like 17 different races, right? So in that game, you could be like a jellyfish, a tiger, a wolf, a bird, a bee, hippo, beetles, all kinds of just crazy races in that game. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I want to live stream the global launch of Chimera Land tomorrow. And this is the favor I need from you guys. If you can be at the stream tomorrow, download Chimera Land in advance, because this is what I want to do. I want to get as many of us as possible on the same like low population server, right? Get as many of us as possible on the same exact server, spawn us in the same exact location, and then what, FG? And then start knocking down some trees, mining some rocks, building some buildings. Like, I want to try to rush to get a guild online as fast as possible, and then just build this massive kingdom, kill world bosses, get loot. Like, dude, I am like really excited about this. Unironically, I'm extremely excited about this more than like any other stream I've ever done, because this is a rare opportunity where I can actually play with you guys like live. Like, most of the mobile games and gacha games that we play are a pretty solo experience, but this is a game that we can actually all play together and be in the same exact world. So if you can be at the stream tomorrow, download Chimera Land, get it pre-installed, and then on the stream, like I said, I'll find us a low population server. We'll all spawn in the same spots, and then we'll build a glorious kingdom. So I cannot wait for Chimera Land's global launch tomorrow, live stream. I'll put up the notification on the channel so you guys can set the reminder, be there tomorrow, right? And not sponsored, not sponsored. I know this sounds like the most sponsored thing I have ever said, but I'm just really excited to actually be able to play with some of you guys. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for Chimera Land. Now back to the actual pre-registration. What do we have here? Scourgebringer. This looks like an okay kind of like bullet hell style game. I'm not sure if I'll play something like that on the channel though. Masha and the Bear farm games. Nah, bro, we're not gonna be playing that either. Idle Berserker, we're still in what, idle game season, so quite a few more idle games here to kind of just wade through. Dude, they just love posting idle games in 2022. Dear Ella, brought to you by COM2US, there you go. Like I said before, it just looks a bit dated. I'm still gonna play it, but I don't really know what COM2US is what they're trying to do with releasing a game like this. Once again, it feels like all games are starting to kind of raise that bar when it comes to aesthetic and polish, and this just looks like a step backwards, but maybe the gameplay will speak for itself. Hey, Star Trek Lower Decks Mobile. Unfortunately, when it comes to these like license-based games are really bad, like that Office game that I played before, they're just really atrocious, really time-gatey, really cash-grabby, like way more than most gacha games. These games just want you to give them so much money for like non-existent gameplay. So I'm probably still gonna play. Oh, it's an offline game. Oh, well, that kind of changes things a little bit. All right, I guess we'll take a look at it. Vaughn's Quest, I talked about this in the last video. The only thing that really makes me interested in this game, being that it is yet another idle game, is just the artwork. Like, I really do like the art design here. So very, very cool. Vaughn's Quest, but once again, it looks like, once again, a pretty typical idle game. So that is that. Tacticus Warhammer 40K. So I was looking at the screenshots on the previous pre-registrations, and apparently the gameplay is better than the screenshots lit on. Better than the screenshots lit on. So I'm gonna keep an open mind. We'll play this game when it comes out. It shouldn't be too much longer, so we'll see if the game can kind of live up to the Tacticus name. Walking Dead All-Star. So I just covered this one on the tier list. I'm pretty sure I gave it a D, a below average. Not to say that the game was bad per se. It's just a typical idle game, and here in 2022, you just really can't do the same exact things that we've been seeing for the last 3 years when it comes to idle games. Once again, not a bad game, it's just derivative. It does all the things that you expect an idle game to do with just a Walking Dead skin. I personally don't think that's enough, but if you really love The Walking Dead and you're not really kind of bored of the idle game kind of gameplay loop, there you go, The Walking Dead All-Stars. Now, Tower of Fantasy. Now, I'm gonna say something that I don't think is gonna be unpopular, but you never know. So when I look at all the games that I know are gonna be released this year, Tower of Fantasy, in my opinion, is the most likely candidate for Game of the Year on mobile. When I look at all the games that have announced release dates for the rest of the year on mobile, Tower of Fantasy to me just looks like the most likely candidate for Game of the Year. I had a ton of fun playing with it in beta, and we're gonna be getting the updated version, the 2.0 version, which is even better than that. So Tower of Fantasy, iOS, Android, Steam, Epic Game Store, this one just might be the game to be on the lookout for. Like for real, Tower of Fantasy is probably gonna be the truth. Gun Matrix, so low key, middle key, also high key. I kind of want to play this. Well, check this out. You watching? All right, let's speed it up here. So this is a Gun Matrix. It's a mini game, right? Where you're trying to nail all your shots in one jump to kill all the enemies. It's kind of like Angry Birds with guns. I'm not mad at it. I'll probably play this one just for like a first impressions mini or something like that. Nothing too serious. DC Heroes and Villains. This is that match 3 game that's still sitting on pre-register. I'm not sure what's taking it so long, but there you go. I'm really hoping that we start seeing some brand new DC games, because the only real DC game that we have right now is that DC game that came out like 18 years ago. So we definitely need a refresh of DC games on mobile. K-Zombie idle game, another idle game, nothing really to speak of here. Enigmite's Prophecy, this is a match 3 game with some extremely lewd graphics. Like, you see this? Why am I zooming in? You see this? You see how they have that little black cloth there? Lots of game companies do this in their ads. Even though the in-game model is not gonna have that black cloth, they usually kind of put those black cloths on, you know, the advertisement, so they can kind of show off the game on Twitter, Facebook, stuff like that. Let me tell you, the actual game itself is quite lewd. So if you like match 3, you like waifus, this is probably a game to be on the lookout for. So that is that. Noah's Heart. So Noah's Heart is gonna be coming out, I think, the last week of July. I did play this game on beta. I played it on live stream as well. It's much better than people give credit for. That's not saying that the game is good though. So hopefully that makes sense, right? So it's not as bad as people say it is, but it's much better than people think it is, right? I did have a lot of fun with this one. Open world. I think the combat is ultimately gonna let this game down, because the combat just didn't feel as connected as it could be. Like when I was fighting some bosses, it just kind of felt like I was like, I don't know, just hitting through them. The feeling of impact just wasn't there. It was really kind of disappointing in that aspect, but dude, this game absolutely kills it when it comes to traversing the game world, right? Whether you're sprinting, riding mounts, using a grappling hook like you're freaking Spider-Man, like they nailed the movement. I just don't think they nailed the combat. And if you go back to like these boss encounters, they look awesome, don't they? You're fighting this big crab with a freaking chainsaw for an arm, and it is like spectacle-wise really awesome to look at. But when you're actually doing it, when you're actually fighting it, it doesn't feel like anything. So that's gonna ultimately hold back Noah's Heart, but I still do think the game is worth playing. We have Dark Hero, idle RPG, another idle game. We're just gonna go ahead and skip that. Let me look. Nah, we're gonna skip that. Another idle game. The Legend of Neverland, a game that's trying its best to look like a kind of like a bootleg knockoff Genshin Impact, but you really can't tell. You can't tell if it plays like Genshin Impact or if it just plays like an autoplay MMO. You really can't tell. Who makes this game again? This is brought to you by Game Art Global, who have brought you nothing. All right, so we'll have to see how the game shapes up. The Descenders, huh? Descenders, what is this, a downhill biking game? Dude, I'm kind of down. I'm kind of down for this one. This one actually will probably make a first impressions mini video or something like that. FG, when have you ever made a first impressions mini, right? I know, dude, for some reason, I call them minis and the videos are like 10 minutes long anyway. They're supposed to be like 5 minutes or less, but it never happens that way. I don't know, I might play that. It kind of reminds me of like Trials back in the day. Remember Trials Fusion and Trials Evolution? Well, not really, because those are more trick-based. This is still kind of like a race, it looks like, but it doesn't look too bad. So Descenders, huh? We'll be on the lookout for that one. Next up, we have Iron Marines Invasion. I don't really have a lot of history with this game's franchise. I do believe this is going to be a paid once type of game, so if you're a big fan of Iron Marines, here's another game for you. Next up is going to be Terra Genesis, a Landfall. So if you want to make your Elon Musk dreams come true, You can go to Mars, populate it, build buildings, there you go. So the next game up on the pre-register is Eternal Kingdom Battle Peak. So the last time I talked about this game, I was like really impressed with the art styles. Like, dude, why does the art look so good? I didn't know at the time it was the same artist that did Final Fantasy artwork, so no wonder it looks pretty good. So let's take a look at some of the gameplay on this one to see if this one's actually worth looking at. Now that the art has my attention, let's see. Your epic adventure begins now. Dude, this is a video, but it's still showing me screenshots. What? I mean, the world looks good. This company has made a ton of MMOs, for better or for worse. I feel like when you make that many MMOs, the quality of them just can't be good, but maybe they're gonna put a lot more effort in this one. I mean, they did call the Final Fantasy artists, so why not? So we'll definitely take a look at this one when it comes out. Eternal Kingdom Battle Peak. Guan Yu Idol. A Guan Yu Idol game, really? Okay, skipping that. WarCraft Arclight Mobile. Dude, I'm gonna be playing this game. It could be a fun experience, but look at how bad this looks. Like, look at how bad this looks. This looks really, really terrible. Like, gameplay speaks for itself, right? That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, it's all about the gameplay, but I just can't believe that this is a Blizzard game coming out in 2022, or maybe even 2023, we don't even know. Next up is Dear Ella. Didn't we already talk about Dear Ella and Vaughn's Quest? Oh, I don't know what happened there. Pixel Fantasia Idol RPG. Another idle RPG, not really gonna look at that. MLB Perfect Inning, I'm not really a baseball guy, so baseball game for baseball fans. Gunstars Battle Royale, I feel like you're kind of late to the party, and if you want to kind of play like a new kind of like top-down shooter experience, I would definitely try Catalyst Black. I think that's a much better experience. Blood Knight, idle RPG, another idle game to skip. Volleyball, volleyball, it's too simple, it looks like. I was like, dude, I'm always down for like new experiences, and I can't tell you when's the last time I actually played a volleyball game outside of like Dead or Alive way back in the day. But it looks like the controls are going to be a little too simple for that to be any good. Dragon Trail Hunter World. I do like this guy's hair though. It gives me like Secret of Mana vibes. Like, the art style doesn't look too bad. They're trying real hard to not actually show gameplay. A lot of this looks like quasi in-game models mixed with like pre-rendered kind of setup scenarios. So I don't think any of this is actually gameplay, but the art doesn't look too bad. Who makes this game? This one's brought to TH Moby. They made Young Heroes. I might not be that good then. I remember that game. Renaissance Fighters, an idle Renaissance RPG. Dude, the freaking Mona Lisa. What? We got like a bootleg JoJo. What is happening here? What is this Renaissance fighter, huh? I'm kind of down just because it just looks ridiculous. It reminds me of that one game I used to play, Clone Evolution, with all the like the crazy fighters and whatnot. Let's take a look at a trailer, shall we? All right, let's see what you got here, Renaissance Fighters. Not yet translated, dude. They lose a little respect for me. If you're trying to advertise your game in the global audience, at least translate your screenshots or your videos, dude. Like, come on. Oh, wow, this is cool. I'm shutting up a little bit. I kind of like it, dude. Dude, this looks ridiculous. All right, Renaissance Fighters. This looks good. I'm down for Renaissance Fighters. Dude, look at the cheeks on the boy. Somebody didn't miss squats. All right, so Shop Heroes Legends. You guys know I like Shop Heroes games. I will be playing this one. We should be seeing this one in a couple of weeks. So we'll give it a shot. Pretty much what you'd expect, right? You're a shopkeeper. You sell different types of gear to adventurers that come in. And unfortunately, since it's gonna be on mobile, it's gonna be, you're constantly gonna have pop-ups telling you to spend $5 so you get enough iron ore to build the broadswords that the adventurer wants, which kind of defeats the purpose of this game. But the overall premise of it, the way it works, is actually pretty good. So looking forward to it. The trailer doesn't really show too much of the actual game there, unfortunately. But Shop Heroes, looking forward to that one. Next up is Fighters of Fate Anime Battle. We talked about this one before. It looks like a competitive fighting game where you draw cards to fight your opponent, as opposed to like playing like live, like Street Fighter or something like that, which could absolutely work. Next game up is Hyperfront. 5 versus 5 team mode, diverse hero abilities with a new team mode, ranked, classic, team mode, and deathmatch. And then for some reason they wanted to put this, like, you have a limited amount of screenshots you can put on the Play Store. Why put this? Like, why put that there? I'll never understand that. So it looks like NetEase is trying to like do some sneaky rebranding. So obviously it's NetEase, but they're calling themselves NTS Games. I don't know why. And for whatever reason, there's a light version as well. But I guess for people that don't have space in their phone, they can always play the light version. But Hyperfront, gonna be the very first game from NTES Games, aka NetEase. Like, dude, why don't you change the logo? We know it's you. So I don't know what that's going on with. But hero abilities, maybe it's trying to be like a bootleg Apex Legends or something like that. I'm not sure. Iron Knight, non-stop idle RPG, Minion Masters, the king of the pre-register, a game that might never ever see the light of day. Blade of Chaos Immortal, looks like yet another idle game. Yep, nothing really to speak of there. Bubble Shooter Kingdom, a bubble shooter game. Dual Blader idle action RPG as well. So that's gonna do it for today's pre-register, ladies and gentlemen. Like I mentioned before earlier in the video, hopefully I'll see you guys all tomorrow for the global live stream of Chimeraland. Get that game installed, make some crazy bee jellyfish dude, and I'll see you guys in game.